This presentation will help you understand some basic communication strategies you may want to use as you tutor. We will cover the following topics: the use of silence, listening and paraphrasing, and using positive communication. Let's begin. Silence is more than the absence of sound and can be a powerful tool to use when communicating. Before exploring how silence can be used, let's look at how we react to silence in America. Typically, in American culture, we are not comfortable with silence. When there is silence in broadcasting, we call it dead air. This is not a very positive take on silence. When we are meeting someone for the first time, we usually worry about those awkward moments when no conversation occurs. It takes a while for us to feel comfortable enough with someone so that silence does not feel uncomfortable. Silence in a tutoring session can be positive. There is nothing that says a student should always feel comfortable in a tutoring session. Sometimes feelings of discomfort are required. After you ask a question, it may take some time for your student to form an answer. As the tutor who knows the material, a wait of 8 to 10 seconds may seem like a long time. You may want to ask a follow-up question or answer the question for the student. Try not to do this. Wait patiently and offer encouragement by using good body language. Smile, nod your head, or use other nonverbal communication messages that let the student know you have confidence in their ability to answer this question. When silence is used sparingly and appropriately, it can encourage a student to think critically and become independent as a learner. Use this technique when you feel confident your student knows the answer, but the student is hesitant to answer due to lack of confidence. Once the student begins answering the question, use listening and paraphrasing to be sure you are getting the message the student is sending. Remember, the key to good communication is making sure you understand the message as it was intended to be sent. The strategies of listening and paraphrasing can make sure you are receiving the message correctly. Usually when we listen, we are framing our response to the person speaking. Try to refrain from doing this. Instead, listen to how the student is answering. Is it a struggle? Are the steps in order? Is something being left out? What about the nonverbal signals? Is the student giving you a questioning look? Is the answer slow and deliberate or slow and hesitant? By really listening to both the verbal and nonverbal messages sent by the student, you will be ready to respond. Once you have listened to the student, be sure to paraphrase what you hear and see. If the student is being hesitant, state that in a gentle phrase such as, "You acted like you weren't sure about your answer. Here's what I heard you say." Then repeat what you heard and ask for confirmation. "Is that right?" Then offer your comments on the answer. Acknowledge both the verbal and nonverbal answers, and your student will feel like you listened and heard what was said. We've covered silence and listening and paraphrasing. Let's move on to the use of positive communication strategies. Positive communication can be either verbal or nonverbal. The most common type of positive communication is praise. Praise can be either verbal or nonverbal or a mix of both. When you use verbal praise, make sure to be specific. Let's take a moment to read some examples of how to offer praise. "Nice job on," and then provide an example. "It looks like you have it." "You've been working hard. This is much better than last time." "I like how you," and then provide an example. Nonverbal praise can be a nod of your head, a smile, a look of surprise, or even a high five. All of these are positive messages that help offer encouragement. Positive communication, whether verbal or nonverbal, offers reinforcement and it can help the student feel a sense of accomplishment. However, be careful to only offer praise for true accomplishment. This is the end of the lesson. Return and complete the review activity.